Hello! Can you say hi? Today's video is a Feel Good Friday video. Specifically, I'm going to go over 5 tips that I use when I'm feeling anxious or just otherwise in sort of a negative state of mind. I think right now everybody's feeling a little anxious or negative about a myriad of things. At least I know that I'm prone to feel that way. So these are all things that I can do on a relatively easy and regular basis that generally help to flip my mood when needed. And they're not going to be in any particular order. I am not saying I'm any kind of mental health expert. I'm not saying these are guaranteed to work for everybody, but I think it's important to find what works for you and to stick with that, but also to try new things. So if you haven't tried any of these, I recommend at least giving them a shot and see what they do. I think I already said it, but they're not in any specific order. So jumping right in, the first one is doing things for other people. For me personally, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a big gesture. Maybe it's writing a card. It's always fun to get mail that isn't bills or, ads. Maybe it's calling somebody or FaceTiming somebody I haven't seen in a while. If we weren't socially distancing, it might be meeting up with somebody. But it can also be, donating time for an organization, donating money, or finding a need and trying to find a way to fill that need. So what I'm doing currently is, in the past, I've worked with a nonprofit organization that worked with kids at risk of dropping out in the school system. And one of the things I heard routinely from the kids I worked with was they were worried about food insecurity over holiday breaks. A lot of the students I worked with personally relied on school-supplied breakfast and lunches to at least get them through the week with those meals, and then sometimes on the weekend, the meals were a little inconsistent, which you can make it through a weekend like that, knowing that when the next week comes, you'll have food, but if it's a long holiday break, it was difficult and painful. Are you slurping your water? I should note, she was up again today at 5 and is therefore a little grumpy and on edge. Is that delicious water? So one of the things I did when I was in that position was find ways to get food donations of shelf-stable food that was easy enough for kids to make in case a parent or guardian wasn't in the house to help them. Well, thank you. Obviously, I don't work with that organization anymore, but I know a lot of people there. I know the need is still there. So what I'm doing this year is I posted on social media that I was taking donations via Amazon just because it's easy right now. It's quick. Things will come right to my house and it'll be easy to package. Oh, thank you. Accepting Amazon donations of food items to make food kits for at least 10 kids that will cover them for the entire 9 days of Thanksgiving break. Because here in Texas, Thanksgiving break is a full week, so if you add on the weekends, that's 9 days. I created a quick meal plan to make sure the kids would have something that they could make that would stay good for the full week, and they would be likely to eat, because that is important. And made an Amazon wish list and made it public, and like I said, posted on social media. So the list is right here. As of this morning, of the 35 items I needed, I already got 24 ordered. So hopefully those donations start rolling in. I can start separating the food packs, and then I will take them to the school that needs them. That's something really easy to do. An even easier way would be to, when next time you go grocery shopping or do a grocery order, add a couple shelf-stable items and donate them to your local food pantry. I'm not going to go into depth about this, although I kind of already did, but there are lots of ways to help other people out. Not all of them take money, in case that's not a luxury you have. I should note, yes, I'm asking for donations, but Lauda and I will either fill in the gaps with what didn't get ordered, or we'll order some fresh produce to add in the food kits so the kids have some fruit and vegetables. So that was my first tip. My second tip is sort of a double one, and that's to either move my body or to go outside. Preferably move my body while outside. That can be going for a walk. Maybe I'm sitting outside reading. Maybe it's a workout inside if the weather's not good. Just something to get the blood moving, to get some vitamin D. A lot of times it removes me from the environment where whatever stressor is happening, whether that's, on social media as I'm scrolling through, news sites, whatever it is. Getting outside or moving your body is a great way to take your mind off it. Ani's favorite way to move her body, we'll see if she'll do it, is to do head. Are you ready? You do it. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. No? Okay. No. That tip is not going to work for her today. But it does roll nicely into my third tip, which is for me to meditate. If you're not a meditator, it can't just be resting. That's what she needs currently to fix her negative state of mind, negative frame of mind. But for me, meditating is something that I'll go through phases where I do it almost religiously, on some sort of set schedule and routine. Recently for me, it's been whenever she's napping, for the first 10 or 15 minutes of that nap, I'm doing a guided meditation. You can get them on YouTube, obviously. The Fitbit app offers a bunch of free ones, not a bunch, but enough free ones that I actually really like, and they're easy to get to without having to scroll through a bunch of YouTube ones. There are a ton of apps, Headspace, Calm, that you can do either free trials or pay for a subscription and then get lots of guided meditations. Those are great. Currently, they're not in our budget, and I'm able to find free options that work for me. I just like it because it really sort of centers myself. I'm forced to try to let things go. Yes, I can think a thought, but I'm not going to ruminate on it. And it's just a good practice for when things pop up I can't control. There's no point ruminating on it. If I can't control it, thinking that thought over and over again only negatively impacts me. It doesn't make any change on whatever's happening. So meditation basically is just practice on having a thought and letting it go. Again, if you're not somebody who meditates, maybe resting is taking a shower for 10 minutes with the door shut and not getting interrupted. Maybe it's taking a nap, going to bed early, setting your alarm a little later. Whatever it is, just sort of those little things for you can make a big difference. My tip number 4 is to create a gratitude list. Yeah, whether that's whether it's written or just something you're thinking through, gratitude is just something that can completely change your day. If you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts and things that aren't going your way, odds are there are at least 1 or 2 things that are really good in your life. For me, no matter what's happening, I am so grateful that I have the family that I have, including my immediate family I was born into, but also obviously Lauda and Ani. I'm always grateful, at least right now, to have my health, thank you. Everything that I need in life. I might not have everything that I want, but I have everything that I need. Things like that. They're really basic. Maybe it's just you had a really good cup of coffee this morning. Maybe it's that your floors are clean for the first time in a month. There are almost always little things to be grateful for, but depending on what's going on in your life, it can be easier or harder to think of those things and focus on them. If you're really stressed out and a lot of negative things are happening, it is very hard to hold on to those things that you are grateful for or that are positive in your life. But if you make a gratitude list or think grateful thoughts regularly, it gets that much easier next time things aren't so great. She's like right in the frame. Are you gonna do this last one? Number 5 is to engage in a hobby you enjoy. Currently, Ani's engaging in one of her favorite hobbies, reading. Happens to be one of my favorite hobbies too. Right now, just because she keeps me busy during the day, for me, reading is often an audiobook. And a lot of times I fall into a habit of, yes, I'm listening to an audiobook, but I'm doing laundry, or I'm washing dishes, or, one of those things that's productive. And while it is nice to listen to an audiobook while doing those tasks I don't enjoy, it's just as important for me to have some of that hobby time where I'm not also doing something else. I don't get a lot of that kind of time during the day. Maybe it's, again, just 10 minutes while she's napping, or, after she's gone to bed at night, of listening to an audiobook or a podcast for 10 minutes while I'm not being productive. And after that 10 minutes, yeah, sure, I'll get up and, do whatever chores need to be done, and I'll still listen. But at least I took some time to just enjoy it. So whatever that hobby is for you, try to find time, even if it's only a little bit each day, to carve some time out of your schedule and prioritize it. I think those were my 5 tips. It was do something for other people, meditate or rest, go outside or move your body, be grateful, and engage in a hobby. Those 5 things for me almost always fix a bad mood. And if I'm in a bad mood, I'll take a second and think, have I done each of those things? And if there's one I haven't done in a while, I make it a priority to do whatever one I haven't done as soon as possible. So hopefully you either got some new ideas from this or you're feeling a little re-energized to focus on yourself and the things you can control. And hopefully you have a great Friday or whatever day you're watching this on. But with that, we are going to, I think, go read some books. Can we say bye? Bye! Mwah!
Bye.
Bye.